Yeah.
It's live, bro.
Is it live?
It's live.
Hello, everyone.
What's going on, people? Welcome back.
This is PS5 Special Edition. Okay, we've got a
is.
few things to talk about, and then, of course, other news. Firstly, thank you very much for the a billion people that watched the stream with us yesterday.
We had 10,000 people tuning
11,000 strong.
It was 11,000. How many did Yong get? That's what I want to know.
Yong, tell us. He watches us,
Yeah,
right?
he'll be in the chat.
He'll be in the chat,
So let us
of
know,
course.
Yong. So it was a great show. We really appreciate it. Thanks everyone for being here. I think overall, I was very impressed. I was actually surprised to hear how many people were disappointed by Sony's showcase yesterday. I went on Twitter and I'm like, good job, Sony. And everyone's like, what? That's ridiculous. They totally fucked it up. I'm like, what else would you want out of a reveal? Like, I think you had some...
form factor. Oh, sorry, I was going to say, yeah, you had form factor, you had the games, you had a huge amount of IP that we all know and love. We saw a glimpse of new stuff that we haven't seen before. There's just not much more they can do. Like, there's literally not more, unless, like, they show God of War 2.
Yong had 50k viewers.
Damn it, Yong!
Damn you, Yong!
Damn you, Yong!
We're coming for you, man. One day, we'll make it happen.
One day.
Yeah, go on.
No, but it's, I just think, what were people wanting? What, God of War 2? I wanted that, but I can still step back and go, that was a good, solid showing. Far better than Xbox. Far better because they actually showed us what to expect in a lot of games in terms of gameplay.
For sure. No, I totally agree. I mean, I feel like there are 4 or 5 heavy hitters in there that sort of make you go, hell yeah, I'm buying a PlayStation. There were some indies that I was generally surprised at, that really fantasy-looking one that looked like cameo elements of power but wasn't. It was called
You mean
like
the one, Skyrim-looking one?
No.
The pinata-looking one.
Maybe. Now
Anyway.
you've just gone from Skyrim to Pinata. I don't understand what happened then.
Anyway, the guy at the end, there's a dragon.
No, that was called Little Devils. That's a different one. Okay. That was very good as
That
well.
looked cool.
So I was legitimately impressed with a lot of the showcase there. I was very happy with it. The Spider-Man thing was huge.
Cool.
We'll come back to that. And also, the form factor. So I think overall, it was a job well done for that event, personally.
I'm blown away by how we just before we went live got a comparison of how big the actual PlayStation 5 is.
It's massive.
It is gigantic. It honestly looks like one of those compact PCs that you can actually buy. It's taller than the Xbox Series 1X. It's not as thick, of course, but it's huge. No, but that doesn't even give us.
No, I know.
comparison.
I'm trying to find the photo that actually gives the good comparison.
Yeah.
There's no photo here, but yeah, the PlayStation 5 looks like a PC tower. No, it's the size of a PC tower. That's the way to put it. The Xbox Series X looks like a PC tower, and the PS5 is as big as a PC tower. I think that's how I'd put it. Because, I can't look at any photos.
Can't see it
here.
now, but look, it's going.
Oh, this sounds actually not that bad. Yeah, this is a size comparison. Actually, we can do this one. Hang on, I'll just bring this up.
Yeah.
Hang on. Here we go. Let's do it. This is the one here. Okay, this is the size comparison, right? Look at how big the PlayStation is.
So 11 and a half, and nearly 12 inches. Quite big. Nearly 15 inches,
Nice.
though. That is big.
That's it.
Okay, that is very big.
Sam knows.
No, but the Xbox One looks tiny because compared to this now.
It does.
It actually does. The Xbox One, to give you comparison from the photo that I just looked at, it's probably as tall as actually the Xbox Series logo. It's about as tall as that. So these are huge consoles. I mean, where is the limit? Is PS6 going to be just a tank that you just it's like a Tesla-looking thing?
Yeah.
Crazy.
True, to be good. So look, that also leads us neatly into our first set of stories, which
Memes.
is the memes.
Meme review!
So there has, of course, been plenty of memes in relation to the PlayStation. It's a funny-looking machine, and I thought I'd collect some of them and show them to the stream. Sam, I ask you, are you a religious man?
Oh, I am now.
I think the paper...
Father, Son, and the Holy PlayStation, everybody. It looks incredible.
The papal hat has been doing quite the rounds there. It's perfect.
It's probably as big as that too, actually. It's
Actually,
a very
yes.
tall hat.
I reckon some people will take it, will hollow out its insides,
Yes.
and will wear it as cosplay.
Yes.
Definitely. I reckon.
Very Detroit Become Human too.
That's another meme that I saw that I don't have here, but it has Connor from Detroit, and it's literally just his head on top of the PlayStation. That's it. That's like, yep, I know exactly what that is. That is it.
He actually reposted it, actually.
Oh, did he?
On Twitter, yeah.
Oh, yeah. David Cage, obviously, was very instrumental in the design of the
Very
PlayStation
much
5. So well done, David. We've
Yes!
definitely seen quite
I haven't
a few.
seen this, by the way.
Okay.
I specifically did not click on any of these before. So this is all new to me. That is so true.
I know. I actually thought that the moment I saw it for some reason. Like, it just popped. Because this little gap right here, I was like, oh, yeah. I've Sauron.
Yeah,
It's very neatly there, you know?
I mean, if they do bring out another Shadow of More Dollars or something, then this is going to be a perfect collector's
Shadow
edition.
of More Dollars would be great.
That was a great line. Was that from Jim Sterling?
I think it was Jim Sterling said that. That was
Triple A
that
gaming.
was some of his best.
Yes, it was.
There's also
So true.
the duck thing. I think is good because here's the thing, right? Let's talk about this for a second, right? What do you think of the PlayStation sitting on its side? First of all, do you like the look of the PlayStation?
I do like it.
I like it very much.
It vertically.
Yes. When
It's a bit more elegant.
when it's flaccid like this, not as hot, okay?
Not as hot.
It's not as good. I think there's no way I would have this sitting down at this point.
Kind of looks like one of those apartments that have been built recently. Actually,
Yes, it does look like those.
It
yes,
does.
in Alexandria,
Yeah.
Zetland and shit.
It's definitely futuristic apartments looking.
Yeah.
But I do like it vertically more. It's a lot nicer. But the genuine question is, like, a lot of people will... I mean, all these people still have TV cabinets that the DVD used to be, right? So you can just slot it in there if it fits. But, you know, a lot of people can't actually tilt it upwards. So that's going to be the default for a lot of people that don't have a lot of room.
For sure.
It doesn't look great, though, on the side.
On the side. I really love it standing up. I feel like it's going to age terribly, though. Like, I look at it now and I'm like, that's sick! And then I feel like in, 4 years' time, I'm going to be like, what are they thinking with that? And then 8 years' time, I'll be like, oh, that was such a cool-looking console, because it will be kitsch. It will be like something you could put in one of those, behind us on a shelf in those gaming videos.
Yeah.
Because they're so ridiculous. Do you know what I mean?
Maybe it's going to be like the 80s, and everyone just looks back and cringe.
Yes. It needs some shoulder pads to go with that pop collar.
And very bright. Okay, it's not bright enough right now.
It's not bright enough.
Is there going to be a black console? Because I did see a Morales, actually, special edition. I don't know if that was just fan art, or that was going to be a actual edition.
I'm sure eventually they'll do black.
It was a black one with the red for Spider-Man, and then just a normal black version.
Oh, that would have been just fan. That would have been fan. There's no official ones. But what I'm saying, in future,
I
I'm
saw
sure.
that on PlayStation.com. Anyway.
Maybe. It's unlikely they do special edition releases
so close to launch, right?
Yeah, exactly. So, there's that one. There's also, what else we got here? We got the Quack. This is
I saw that.
The Yu-Gi-Oh one. I think was probably the most popular of the lot. Which was
you can see that the actual it's been added.
Yeah, I love that. But they're like, yeah, I'll allow it. You know what I mean? I'll let that
the
one
left
in.
collar looks seamless.
It does actually. It's basically just untouched. So that's good.
That's pretty cool.
This one I think was my favorite one of all.
It does look like a modem.
It's just the modem with two envelopes next to it. The modem was getting a lot of quite a run actually.
Definitely.
I think this is a heater. I think this is a heater.
It's like an aircon thing, but I know PS5 review.
It might be a heater and / air conditioning, but it actually is basically the same thing. It's like perfect, in fact.
Yeah.
So that's that. Then it really does look like one of these air freshener things as well. Yep, you plug that into the wall and it works.
Yeah.
There's this guy. Okay. He looks like
it's a vest, but it
looks like he grew up around where we grew up.
Yes, the watch
we are
on.
kids that dress like this.
Yes,
where we're from. Do you know what I mean? So
not a fan of that look. So next,
there's also more of the
modem again.
Modem stuff, which I think this is quite clean. I like it.
That's quite nice.
And this coffee machine.
But it's not really the coffee machine.
Well, I mean, yeah, but it fits. It looks like it works.
It's a stretch, that one.
It is a bit of a stretch.
That's a stretch.
But I still allow it.
That's great!
How good is
that is great!
That's excellent.
That's actually amazing.
I love that one. It's awesome. So that's the PlayStation 5 in all its weird Alienware glory. As I said, I think Sony did a really great job with that reveal event. I feel like Xbox really just, calling it how it is, they fucked up their reveal event, for sure. No doubt about that. But I think they've made all the right steps otherwise. Do you know what I mean? Just in terms of like Game Pass and their hardware announcements.
Transparency overall.
Transparency, their acquisition of developers, etc. So while I definitely think their reveal event kind of sucked, I'm definitely not counting Xbox out. It's not like the disastrous reveal event for the Xbox One with the Kinect and the sports and the Call of Duty.
Yeah.
The most damaging press conference in the history of video games. That one.
Yeah.
Xbox legitimately never recovered. Xbox One never recovered from that press conference, right? So Microsoft haven't put a misstep like that this time around. So
yeah, I think that it's an easier job for PlayStation because they've got so much more beloved IP. So while I do have to kind of make a little bit more of allowances for Xbox because at the moment, let's be real, there's 3. There's Forza, there's Gears of War, and there's Halo. Apart from that, that's it. You know?
Sure.
So they did have a bit more of a task on their hands. Having said that, let's go to the news.
Actually, no, Sam.
Okay.
Let's go to some super chats.
Sorry, super chats, everybody. We didn't get a chance to do super chats.
The order's all out this morning. First of all, Colin and Tom became members. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, my man. Appreciate you.
Naheem says, love you boys. Also, Knack 3, 1 out of 10. There was no Knack 3. Very disappointing.
I think there will be an Act 3, though.
I don't think so. Well, I don't think you can make games on the basis of, hey, this is a meme. Everyone hates it. Let's make another one.
Shaq Fu did it, and it worked.
It definitely did not work.
It was $80 for that game.
It was like 6 levels, and they were bad.
Could not believe it.
Definitely did not work. Drake says, Viva la PC. Agreed, my friend. Fahim said, love The Last of Us 2 review. Felt it was very balanced. What do you guys think will be the next best upcoming movie game? Ghost of Tsushima, which I'm feeling.
No,
that's not movie game style.
No, it's different.
Yeah, I mean, even then, movie game label is a label that's going to trigger a lot of people in the chat. It's an imprecise label. It's just that, you know how Sony does that movie game vibe thing with its games? I reckon Ghost of Tsushima will have a lot of that.
I actually think that Spider-Man doesn't get, it's the closest movie, Marvel movie I've ever played.
It's fantastic. It's the best superhero game
ever.
I would say ever. I mean, yes, Arkham, man. I love Arkham. Arkham is just one of my favorite games ever, in fact.
Yeah.
But even then, I think Spider-Man's better.
Arkham was a lot of fun, but you get a very different experience with Spider-Man.
Sure. Zendru is here. Thank you very much, Zendru. He says, morning, lads. Hope you both recovered yesterday. Zendru modded our 11,000 viewer chat.
Oh, wow.
So that would have been tough. And that was at 6 in the morning. So we appreciate you, Zendru. Round of applause. Thank you, my friend.
Round of applause for the mods, actually.
Yeah, the mods. That's right. Nitro, unfortunately, is moving on. I just want to pay tribute to Nitro.
Definitely.
He's been such an amazing part of this community. But he's got to go on and do some other things at the moment. So I just wanted to say thank you for Nitro for just being here and being awesome all the time.
I don't know if he's in the chat, but yeah, totally. He's been apart from Zendru, of course.
Apart from Zendru, no, both. But Nitro goes way back. Before I met Zendru, I knew Nitro. He was just fantastic. So
yeah, he's been amazing. So thank you very much, Nitro.
So Marky Mint says to Sam and Ralph for all your hard work, game reviews, and broken lights. Here is some money for Thick Boy. We got a new light today, so that's already sorted.
Guys.
Alex is the Bigfoot of the channel, says Francois. There's old footage of him, some merch with his name on it, and some people think he's not real.
That is so perfect.
That is amazing.
That is so good. I hope he's watching right now.
Francois, don't give us money. We have to give you money.
That is amazing.
For gags that good, we owe you money.
We should have paid you for entry. That was great.
Jay Grizz with $20, very generous. Thank you. I learned how to speak Australian. If you say rise up lights, it sounds like razor blades. What?
Rise up lights?
Rise up lights.
No, sorry.
In your beautiful part of the world, love watching the PS5 stream with you guys. Thank you very much, Chris. Thanks for being here. Good evening from Arkansas. Enjoyed your live stream from the PlayStation event. Well done. Also, the dedication of getting up that early. 10 out of 10 says Morgan. Thank you, Morgan.
And we're up tomorrow too. We should let everyone know.
Oh God,
now.
yeah.
We
tomorrow.
have another one tomorrow. We are up. We start at 5, so we're going to do a pre-show at 4:30 in the morning. I'll be up again at 3:40.
Fuck that!
Which is good.
That's for the PC game show, which is on tomorrow. It'll be, I think they've said they're already going to have 50 titles or something they're talking about. Shit. There's also the future game show straight after that, which is, I actually don't even know what that is. But either way, we're going to be live for at least 3 or 4 hours, just listening and talking to games and talking shit. So
and
hang
then
out
we're
with
taking Monday off.
Oh, we are taking Monday off.
We're taking Monday off.
That's right. So what else we got here? We got... All right, let's do a bit more news and we'll come back to the super chats after that when I find our place. So guys, one thing that came out of the PlayStation 5 reveal is that we're getting a new Spider-Man game.
Spider-Man.
And we were unclear what that was at first. Yep. And then this article was also unclear about it because Sony actually said the wrong thing. So you would have seen the trailer for Spider-Man Miles Morales. Mm-hmm. Very excited. Sony put out a statement saying it's an expansion or enhancement to the original, which is kind of the vibe that we got, right? I was like, I think this is a standalone DLC, right? Rather than being a DLC that you purchase on top of Spider-Man or being an entirely new game. It feels like it was somewhere in the middle. And then Sony came out and said it's an expansion, and it was kind of like, is it though? And then straight after that, Insomniac tweeted out, this is a standalone game. So they clarified that there.
I think there's a few things there. The DLC that you did experience with the previous Spider-Man sucked, man. It really sucked, and I honestly think that anyone that played that, it stained the game because it was such utter content they left out, then they wanted to cash in after. So maybe there was they didn't want to like do another this is DLC, and B, it's a way to like a bit of a reset button in terms of like this is going to be a new experience, a new thing, while using the same assets, because I'm sure they're going to reuse a hell of a lot of assets. So that's why I think they've probably done that. But Spider-Man was Spider-Man. There wasn't anything next to it like Amazing Spider-Man, right?
Spider-Man Miles Morales.
No.
Oh, you mean that? No, I think it was just Spider-Man.
Sony Spider-Man or whatever, right?
Marvel
Spider-Man.
Yeah, Marvel Spider-Man. Yeah.
That was amazing. That's where I'm going with this. Sure. It was absolutely amazing. I'm sure they'll do a fantastic job with this. Well,
I remember seeing some polls on Twitter actually about like, what are you most excited about? And the Spider-Man game crushed every other game by a country mile. Even Horizon Zero Dawn, people were more excited for Spider-Man.
I think it's more easily digestible, Spider-Man.
Just a great game.
Like, anyone will like Spider-Man. Like, it's just such a good game. And I thought that the Spider-Man 2 on GameCube, like, nailed the swinging, you know? This felt incredible.
Yeah, for sure. I remember playing the original Spider-Man at an event when I used to write for Xbox Magazine back when I was in the day. Like when I was like 17 years old kind of thing. And I remember playing the original Spider-Man at a preview event being like, whoa.
Spider-Man 1 or 2? Because 2 was the open world one.
Two. And I was like, holy shit, what the hell? This is incredible. So that's how far back I go.
I wonder if, there was such...
Old Man Ralph. Yeah, that's what they call me.
There's such scope for like superhero games, but we actually don't see a lot of good ones. Like Superman 64 suck. That Marvel Alliance beat 'em up thing.
They don't suck. They're just a bit like they're not the worst.
Okay, you know what? Marvel vs. Capcom is fucking great, but apart from that, not a vibe. Anyway, next.
Do you remember that old 2D X-Men game? That was a great game.
You mean the side-scroller one?
Yeah.
And you could be Gambit and the Blue Dude and stuff. Sure. Yeah. That
the Blue Dude. Show some respect.
What was his name?
Beast.
The blue Respect dude. To the blue people. Sorry.
That's right. So, guys, we've got here the next story, also in relation to the PS5 reveal event. Jeff Keighley tells us that upcoming Deathloop and Ghostwire Tokyo are console exclusives to PlayStation 5 for a period of time. Well done, Bethesda. Well done. Okay, first of all, Sony's also to blame for this, okay? Right? Let's just be really clear. So, console exclusive, if you don't know, it means that it comes to one console for a time, and then like 6 months later or something, it comes to another console.
Well, FF Remake's doing that.
I mean, is it though? Is it 1 year?
I think it's 1 year, and they pushed it back
I can't remember now. Is one of it is actually coming to Xbox?
I believe it is, because I also remember, or at least to PC, because I do remember seeing a headline that when they pushed the game back, they also pushed the 1 year exclusivity.
I remember hearing something like that. Yeah, maybe you're right.
So look, we see games do this all the time. I think it's only justified if PlayStation has a hand financially in, a stake. Then I can understand that.
Sure.
If they just like throw a lump of cash once they've made the game and they see it's going to be quite a good, a profitable product, then that's kind of shit.
It really is. I mean, Call of Duty does this all the time. Most recently with its Spec Ops game mode that was exclusive to PS4 for a while. Destiny did this with Activision. God, that was awful.
That's right. 1 year
strikes and weapons and all sorts of bullshit that was exclusive to PlayStation. It's a very shitty trend. It's been so long standing you can't even call it a trend.
Did
it's a practice.
Xbox did it too when they were actually running the show. So
did they though?
Yeah, I remember.
Timed console exclusive for third-party games.
I thought it was Call of Duty that did it, and then they flipped over. Yeah, with the 360.
I think you're right. Actually, they did some time content. You're right.
So I think whoever holds the power exercises that power in this, and it sucks.
It is. It's a shame. So look, especially because Deathloop is looking pretty cool. I was definitely impressed by that trailer. Ghostwire Tokyo, I'm not so sure yet. That was a weird one.
Remake coming to PC, yeah.
All right. Okay. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. So
$50, dude.
Oh, that's it. Thunderwing says, just very quickly, thoroughly enjoyed the meme machine that is Laymen Gaming. Before I even purchased a game, I check its skill up as a review. Drink on me, boys. Very generous.
Wait. Before you buy a game, you check Laymen, right?
That's right.
What do you mean? No, we appreciate that, buddy. Thank you so
So, look, I'm, as I said, disappointed for Xbox users. I think as well,
I think it really comes down to what the backstory of this is. I think that if PlayStation has a hand creatively or financially, I'm a little bit more inclined to be like, okay, maybe then you deserve some time.
So
to have
what?
this.
Bethesda needs cash to like.
No, not necessarily. But if PlayStation wants to, in development, put some money in and put some risk and put some skin in the game.
Sure, no, I agree with that. I do.
Then there should be something,
I just think it's a disappointing trend in general that consoles do this. It sucks. I know it's business. It's the real world. I get it. I'm just saying it sucks for people who have the other console and they miss out. So, yes, Seb says, good to see Thick Boy back. I'm surprised he didn't break the couch.
He's a big boy.
What games are you most excited about for the PS5 showcase? I think that Little Devils one for indie was the best. And Demon Souls.
Crash.
Demon Souls,
not
man.
Crash Bandicoot.
The Ratchet and Clank reveal was also
really good.
But besides the frame rate issues, it was a very good reveal. I was very
I
impressed
thought
with
that looked pretty sick.
Red Maze for $5 says, morning gents, glad to catch you guys yesterday and today. I'll try tomorrow. Just curious, have any trash games you love?
Trash games that you love, like shitty games that we love.
Sam loves Overwatch.
Overwatch is not a trash game. What is a game that everyone hates but you like? I can't think of one. I only play great games, guys. No, I can't think of one. Hey.
Nothing that really springs to mind.
Yeah,
like for example, there's games that I enjoyed that
like the Clash of Clans, whatever you play.
Oh, Clash Royale.
Oh my god, you love that.
Clash Royale is a very good video game.
It's a mobile game.
We can talk for a long time about the strategy of high-level Clash Royale player. And I'm going to have some people in the chat agreeing with me on this one, okay? And also, anyway, let's just move on, shall we? What's next? Next story, shall we?
Okay, we got a lot more chats.
Okay, we'll do a few more super chats.
Just want to get as many people,
So, what do we got? Justin is here. Hello, Aussie brothers. This is the first time I've been able to catch you live for my first super chat ever. You two continue to be my go-to place for gaming, news, and spicy memes. Thank you very much. We appreciate that, Justin.
We appreciate that, man.
Tigo, sup my fellow Aussie chumps. Wanted to know how you guys feel about influencing other people's lives through reviews or inspiration. Sam.
Oh, that's not...
Did you know you're an inspiration, Sam?
I'm an inspiration.
Sam is an inspiration, he says as he strokes his beard.
Well, if you want to smoke, no. I actually quit a week ago. That's an inspiration. I quit smoking.
Oh, okay? Yeah, for the 800th time.
Yeah, it takes a while, okay? But anyway, I have quit smoking. Ralph, you want to talk about your inspiration?
No, I feel like the only thing I enjoy is... the thing I really like is recommending games to people that they don't otherwise find. That's what makes me really happy.
I get a kick out of making people laugh. I do.
Sure,
it's good fun.
But I mean, I really love hey, go try Hunt Showdown, and then all these people come at me like a week later, like, dude, I started playing Hunt Showdown, it's the best fucking shit ever. I'm like, yeah, cool. I don't really love when I'm like, hey, The Last of Us 2 is not the best. I don't love saying that sort of stuff, even though that gets a lot of clicks. I really like when I'm like, Deep Rock Galactic is awesome, and then last week in this, everyone's like, rock and stone to the bone. I'm like, yeah, brother. Anyway, that's what makes me happy.
Yeah, it's always good when we do a meme and everyone's like, oh, that was great. And I'm like,
and I take credit for it.
Yes.
That's it.
Yeah.
All right, let's get back to some news, guys. More stuff out of the PlayStation Showcase. Well, not actually, just PlayStation 5 news in general. We're glad to share, says Remedy, that Control is coming to PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X. More details coming at a later date. Now,
I'm just like, I'm surprised. I don't know. When I played this game, I don't get it. I don't get why this is such a big game. Do you know what I mean? Like,
I am quite surprised that it is as beloved as it is.
Yeah.
I like it. I think it's a great game, but I think that so many reviewers were like, "This is game of the year, man." I'm like, I don't know about that one. Not really feeling it.
I thought it was fine. In our review, I think I remember actually saying that I quite enjoyed it. But I don't feel like it should be standing the test of time that it is. You know?
I mean, here's the thing with this game, by the way. It runs like arse on consoles, okay? And I played it on PC, and it runs.
I played on Pro, I think.
Yeah, and it has terrible frame drops.
fine.
No. It's quite famous for
Maybe I
having
can't
terrible
remember now.
frame drops.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, and the other thing about this is that consoles can't do the current gen consoles can't do ray tracing.
Yeah.
This is the best showcase of ray tracing that you can get. So, the fact that this is coming to next gen is actually pretty good because it means you get a stable frame rate and you'll also get some ray tracing. Fingers crossed. Might make it a really worthwhile purchase. As I said, I definitely recommend it. It's a great game. Just didn't love it as much as a lot of other people. But I'm glad to see that Remedy have got a lot of success out of it. Gives them some confidence to do cool things in the future.
Speaking of games that we are surprised about, well, someone is certainly surprised about.
Oh, okay.
The
So
Last of Us.
Let's talk about The Last of Us Part
Now,
2 reviews.
The review score continues to go up. Now,
Yeah.
96.
It is 96 Metacritic.
In
at
the
this
review
point.
that we did last night, which is demonetized, thank you, YouTube.
That's so nuts,
Seriously.
man. Can't
Anyway.
believe it.
The thing that I think that this is a good game. I do not think it's a 96. I think it's a high 80s. I can think a game is good and not have to absolutely froth it, but I feel like people. I just don't agree with this being better than God of War. I don't agree with it. I was looking up titles that it's better as.
It's better than Half-Life 2.
Better than Metal Gear Solid.
It's better than the original Metal Gear Solid. No, I mean, it's reductive to use those numbers and be like...
I know, but it's a bit of a meme, right?
It is a meme.
We get it. But like, in the lack of anything else, when we are looking at numbers, this is... This is rated near perfect.
This is insanity to
and
me.
it's not perfect.
Oh man, look, I am definitely, as I said in my review, mine's like a subjective review. It's my personal take, whatever else. I'm not saying that I'm right and everyone else is wrong. Absolutely not. Okay, I would definitely understand if this was sitting at like a 90 on Metacritic, 92, 93. Like, sure, I can see it. Like, I can definitely see how people come to that conclusion. The number of 10s this game is getting has astounded me. I am astounded. Like, Neil Druckmann himself said that this was going to be a divisive game. But it's not. There's, like, me, and then, like, Ars Technica, the IGN Japan review.
Yeah.
Pretty much everyone else liked it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm so stunned at how this is reviewing. I really am stunned.
Look, I honestly...
I actually am.
I honestly think that there is a phenomenon with games... that have such a tidal wave movement forward and so much hype and so many people, even though it had a bit of a rocky marketing campaign, I still felt like there was maybe a lot of reviewers out there. I know this could not be true, but I'm thinking it may be. That there's a lot of reviewers out there that are it's a bit risky to come out without not knowing what anyone else thinks and being like, oh, I love it, it's 100. Like, it's a bit more of a safer thing, I think, for these people to do. Do you know what I mean by that? Like,
yeah.
Sometimes games come along, like Doom Eternal. I mean, it's really risky to stick your neck out.
Don't say anything bad about Doom Eternal.
you know what I mean?
I know from experience.
It becomes a pillar of gaming. Like, you know what I mean? So I think there's a
But
movement
like, I want to
sometimes.
say though, like everyone's like, oh, it's paid reviews. It's not paid reviews, man.
I'm not
Like,
saying
it's,
paid
no, I know
reviews.
you're not saying that.
I'm saying it's intimidating.
I'm saying
it's intimidating to go
a lot
out.
of people are saying all the reviews are paid and only Skill Up is honest, and that's rubbish. Like, it's just there's no paid reviews. Just people say what they think about things. But I also partly agree with what you're saying, which is like, people get swept up in a review cycle and they're like, oh, this is, and they chat amongst themselves and whatever else. And like, I mean, yeah, I cannot understand that score. Like, it blows my mind. It really does. Again, if you were to come to me and say Death Stranding is a 6 out of 10, I'm like, yeah, okay. And that's what I said about the IGN review. I love Death Stranding. I think it's fantastic. But I can see the other ends of the spectrum. I can see the higher end of the spectrum here with The Last of Us. I really can. I can't see the stratospheric end of the spectrum that puts it at this score. I just can't.
What would you give this game? I think I'd give it an 88.
Okay, so my personal score, if I was to put a number on this game, it's like a 7 out of 10 for me.
Okay.
It
So
really is.
we're not massive. Well, we're far off actually, but
Yeah.
like, I think.
But I can understand how someone would say this is a 9.5. I really can. I can understand it. I see it.
We're at 9.6.
No, but I mean, like, that. But that means, like, when you get that level of score, you've just got this overwhelming, unbelievable number of 10s just coming at it. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I think what I would say is, I think even a fair review, if you think this is a great game, is like a 9. There's so many problems with this. Anyway, we can't even talk about it because we're not allowed, limited by the things. We'll get into the spoiler review later on. But anyway, I am really...
And if we go down, actually, just to finish this discussion, I mean, it's just a wave of just... And then
the IGN Japan. Chad IGN Japan. But this is it. This is the scores for this game.
I mean, this is what I mean by this. I think there is such a tidal wave.
I can't believe it. There we go.
Of people, of a movement forward. And it'd be quite interesting to see someone deconstruct that. Like in terms of a YouTube video or whatever. Like some games come along... that it's bound to get hundreds, you know? Sure. Doom, man. Like, I knew Doom was never going to be reviewed badly. And I think this falls into the same category. Although I think Doom's a fine game. I mean, it's not my favourite game of all time, but I still think it's a fine game. I knew it wasn't going to be reviewed badly, because it's a lot to... Like, I think there's a lot...
No, but also Doom is just fantastic. Like, I prefer Doom 2016, but even I was like, Doom Eternal is fucking amazing. Like, whatever else. But... yeah, I mean, it's just, I don't know, man. This is it's a really interesting case. I'm going to be so interested to see what people, how people respond to this when user reviews come through.
Look, a user review is going to be already hit by people disliking the narrative, or disliking the marketing campaign, or just or disliking the fact that they've seen spoilers and some of the characters that they like, you know, whatever, right?
Sure.
So that is going to be an issue already. So you could probably take 1.5 points off that. Do you know what I mean?
Sure.
So if it's sitting at a 7, it's probably 8.5 kind of thing. I do think it's actually going to be... I don't think it's going to be hugely divisive. I think it'll probably fall around the 80 mark. I reckon.
You reckon?
If it wasn't with all these people...
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, sure. No, and look, and I can understand that. As I said, I don't think that's at all unreasonable. If this were to land at a real user score of like 8 out of 10, that makes sense to me. You know what I mean? As I said, I personally would give it like a 7. You know, I didn't enjoy it at all, but I definitely see its components, and many of those components are fantastic. Visually, incredible game. Level design, astoundingly good.
Yep.
They definitely made some improvements to gameplay, but just as a whole package, man, I'm just, very surprised. Very surprised. So, guys, that's The Last of Us review wrap up. That's what we think. You guys will get your hands on it next week. It's out on Friday. We have another spoiler review recorded on Laymen for that. I'm thinking about doing one on Skill Up as well, but I don't know. We'll see.
Nah, just come to Laymen, guys.
That's right. Let's do that one. So, Trenchford says, "All right, boys, where is he? He's just disappeared now because I touched the mouse, and as soon as you touch the mouse, it stuffs up." Where it's just completely disappeared.
Great.
Nice. There we go. Thanks very much, Trench Food. Appreciate it. Evening, lads. Thank you for the excellent stream yesterday. PS5 showcase was better than Xbox, but what did you think of the performance of games, provided what we saw was actual gameplay?
As we said, I think Ratchet and Clank looked okay in terms of the frame rate, but everything else looked fine.
Yeah. Blacklisted Gaming Podcast. Hey, boys. Would love to have you guys in our podcast. Reached out via email for the Skill Up page. Couldn't find the email on the Layman page. Don't remember receiving an email from you. Try again on Skill Up. My email address is in my bio, so hit me up there if you want to talk, man. Thick Boy sounds like Ralph imitating Sam's voice. Nice, thanks, Francois. Forzathon with the PS5 was the best event for PlayStation 6 Xbox One reveal in 2013. That's a bit of a cell phone. I get it. I get the reference. James McDonough, he says, thanks for the PS5 reveal stream. Do you think Deathloop will be as good as Dishonored or Prey? Some of my favorite games of all time. I don't know if it'll be as good as Prey. I love Prey so much. Big fan, but we'll see. And Jay, game companies are finally listening to us. A fridge we can keep our Mountain Dew cold in, and a router so we can play the Crucible Game of the Year edition, says Jay. Thank you very much, Jay. We appreciate it.
Have you played any more Crucible?
No way, man. No, there's just no way.
Absolutely not.
It's just...
Well, let's come back.
No one is playing any more Crucible. I think I saw the concurrent player count at Rid hit about 200 at one point. So
really? Yeah, it's horrendous.
It's very rough, man. So, all right, should we get back to some news?
Speaking of... Oh, great segment.
Actually, this is one thing we forgot to cover off.
Of singingly bad. God,
what the hell?
It doesn't make any sense. Speaking of not making any sense... The whole debacle with the songwriter. Here we go. Okay, now, about a week ago, just to give you a bit of backstory, about a week ago, a female singer came out on Twitter saying that she was heartbroken with The Last of Us Part 2 because in their trailer, they had used a song that she had covered about 10 years ago, and she had added a harmonic melody about halfway through the song. It's about 3 or 4 different notes or whatever. It's not an entire piece. We're talking about maybe 5-10 seconds of an idea, right? Within a cover of a cover. She was very annoyed that she didn't get credited for that. And then she took all those comments down on Twitter. You went back to her page a day later, it was all gone. Since then, she has now come out and said, I'm so thankful to be part of to be an inspiration for the trailer of some capacity. What's the actual quote? Because Neil Druckmann first actually came out and named her as an inspiration, I think, for the cover. Yep. And since then, she's come out now thanking The Last of Us and Neil Druckmann.
I don't have it says, so proud that my music has found a home in such an amazing project. Thanks to Neil, Naughty Dog, and everyone at Sony. So there you go. Everyone.
There it is there, I think. Where's Neil's...
Neil said up here,
yeah.
Ellie's rendition of Truth Face was inspired by Lottie Kestner's haunting cover of the song. Due to an oversight on our end, she wasn't credited as intended. Our deep apologies. We're rectifying this ASAP. So, there you go.
There we go.
We roasted her last week when really she was in the right all along. So...
Well... she was saying heartbreaking.
Well, says, I'm not going to apologise.
No, but well, this is the thing. She was like, compensated, question mark.
Yeah,
like,
that was not...
That's where it gets to the point of like, what's going on there? Like,
Sure.
Anyway, shouldn't they really just be... If I did a cover of a song and I added like a little harmony... Do I feel like I need to be credited?
Do you need to be paid for that?
Do I need to be paid for that?
No, man,
of course
I don't think
not.
so, personally.
You know?
But anyway.
Speaking of music, Sam Astor, check it out.
Gross.
Next.
Games. We've got the fridge. We've got DJ Matrix is here. First time super chat, long time viewer. Cool to see his royal thickness on the last video. Hope you get around to doing your Division 2. Another crack. Sea of Thieves with new updates apparently is excellent right now.
Really?
Yep, I've seen some reviews.
I have felt that slow but steady, the conversation on Twitter is everyone's respecting it a little bit more.
Sure. Oh, no, definitely. Big time. Sanzi, hello from Finland. Hello, my friend.
Hello.
Drift Silver, just found you guys earlier this year. You've quickly become my favorite show to watch. Keep up the awesome content, gents. Don't ever change, Mike. Thank you very much, my friend. We appreciate you being
buddy.
here.
Thank you so much.
Nathan Nicholson says, I pre-ordered The Last of Us 2. I got the digital deluxe edition. What are both of your guys' final opinions? Well,
if you live in Australia...
we did a video on that just recently.
If you live in Australia... Then refund the digital. Can you refund the digital edition before it comes out?
You liked it though. You're telling him he should buy it.
No, what I'm saying is you might not like it, so maybe just go to EB Games. EB Games lets you buy a game for 7 days, and if you don't like it, you can take it back.
Sam abuses that policy, doesn't he?
Oh boy, I do.
Exil, when 2 gaming commentators don't realize the Xbox event is 2 parts and the big one is July, it's pretty bad to be honest. Sounds like not really my take.
Oh, what was this? When 2
I
games...
think some people are saying that their reveal event is broken up into 2 parts, and so therefore we're judging it early. I don't really agree with that take personally. I feel like it's okay to judge that event as a pretty crappy event. Even Microsoft apologized for it. So even they're saying, yeah, our event was kind of crappy.
Yeah.
And we've got finally Luckforce here says, hey fellas, keep up the awesome work, reviews and memes, we appreciate you. So guys, if you didn't know, and you wouldn't have known because yesterday was a gigantic news cycle for everything else, but EA chose to do this anyway, they've dropped Battlefield 1, 3, 4, 5, Hardline, and Mass Effect 3, and Andromeda, and Star Wars Battlefront 1 and 2 on Steam.
What about Battlefield 2?
I don't know, actually. Good point, actually. And what else is missing? Mass Effect 1 and 2, were they already on Steam? I think they were. Yeah, they were already on Steam.
Legitimate question. Is there a Star Wars Battlefront 3 back in the old days? You know how like on GameCube, on PlayStation 2 or whatever, they only did 2, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was looking for the other day because I couldn't remember. Okay.
Sure.
So, on a side note, I don't think they are looking to do a Star Wars Battlefront 3 anytime soon, actually.
No.
I recently read that they said that there is not much of an appetite for it. But, available on Steam. That's pretty much the story.
Maybe it's because Star Wars is dead now after what Disney have done.
What do you mean? The last 3 movies were fantastic.
They were real crowd pleasers.
Jedi Fallen Order was... good.
Jedi Fallen was fantastic. It was very good. I liked it.
For a Star Wars game, I think it really hit it out of the park.
So look, there's the good news here is that you can get these games on Steam now. I know a lot of people only like to buy the games on Steam, but there you go. You can do that if you like. Speaking of, I only like to buy my games on Steam. Have you heard the good news of our Lord and Savior, Tim Sweeney?
I actually downloaded this last night.
Oh, did you?
When I looked at the things to talk about today.
So right now, you can get Ark Survival Evolved on Epic Games for free. Just download it. There you go.
I
don't like this game personally. I played a few hours of it. I'm like, I don't like this. Did you boot it up?
No.
When you say you downloaded it, did you just buy it or did you actually...
Oh, I just got it.
Oh, you just got it, right? Yeah, sure.
In the event that I wished you play it.
Yeah, you won't.
Everyone does that, right?
Sure.
I mean, it's... it must be costing them so much money. But...
So this, I think, is like around $40 on Steam, typically. And there's like some DLC add-ons and stuff. But it's like a dinosaur-themed survival sandbox game thing. It's very grindy and very buggy, but a lot of people love it. You can get it for free right now in the Epic Game Store. Not bad. And also Samurai Showdown, which is a samurai fighting game thing. So... Epic good, am I right, guys?
Epic fantastic.
Epic good.
I think that it also works out for the developer. Number one, I'm sure they get some sort of lump cash, right?
Sure.
And then if people start playing it, there's also a marketing element to that, because then people, if they like it, tell their friends, hey, I'm playing this game, you should buy it or whatever.
That's it.
So it kind of works. It kind of works in twofold. Anyway,
speaking of more free games, because everyone's like, well, why don't you give GOG shout out for its free games? Good point. Right now,
we should do this as a segment now.
This is a free game segment. Every week we give away. Every week the Laymen are giving away free games. That's what we're doing
from us.
Okay, that's right. We're giving you Ark, Samurai Showdown, and this week Hitman Absolution. It's available on GOG for the next. I don't even know how long. It's just for the next little while. So
GOG's just like, have it forever, guys. Don't worry about it.
No, I mean like, as in, of course you can have it forever, but I'm not sure if it's like the next 2 days. I see what you mean. Sure. So anyway, you can do that on GOG. GOG's a good platform because it's CD Projekt Red, and unlike Epic Games, CD Projekt Red good. Also unlike EA, CD Projekt Red good.
GOG, I think CD Projekt Red are the only good, always good. I can't think of another company that's just consistently always good.
Yeah, I don't know, to be honest.
Activision, sorry.
Amazon.
Activision Blizzard, of course.
Activision Blizzard.
They're always good.
So that's that. Go and check out those games for free, guys. And we've got BZ is here. He was here, but now he's disappeared because we scrolled down. I watched your reviews on Last of Us 2. Disappointing that it's not all the hype. Also, Ralph, you should get your dad to take a paternity test. Whoa, that's dark.
Okay.
That's very dark. Okay. I'll mention that.
You mentioned that.
Viddle players, your reviews took a lot of courage, and I respect that. But the content of what you said has made me hate you. It's hateful respect. Cheers. Okay.
Yeah, a lot of people are going to
really
not
dislike
what people say about The Last of Us because they like it before they've played it. You know?
Yeah, I get a lot of that. Like, just a lot of people yelling at me, and like, it's when you put out these reviews, by the way, where you don't sort of like say what everyone wants. It's like a hard couple of weeks of just people coming at you. Soon there'll be reaction videos breaking down my review and proving why it's wrong. And there's already like Twitter and stuff. It's just Reddit threads dissecting it all to like prove why everything I've said is incorrect. I've been through this many times before.
You're not that important.
No. Believe me, I'm saying
you're not that important, pal.
I'm not saying I'm important. I'm saying these people don't have anything better to do.
Every single time I say something, it's always put under the knife and the telescope.
Put under the knife and the telescope. The knife and the telescope. That's what it is.
You know what I mean, guys?
It's every time I say something.
No one cares what Ralph thinks. That's what I'm saying.
I wish no one cared what I think. That'd be great, because then I could just say what I think.
It's so hard being famous.
Shut up, Sam.
God.
Fuck you, man.
Right, next.
All right, we're moving on. Let's get back to some news, shall we? Guys, did you hear that Stadia did something good for once? By mistake?
Okay, yeah.
Did you want to do this one, Sam?
Yeah, sure. So, God sponsors. Ubisoft. That's right, Ubisoft. Now, when is the actual official date of this coming out?
No release date yet.
Not even a release date. So I was really surprised to even hear this. But early version of Ubisoft Golden Moss was briefly playable on Stadia. So
random.
So random, but like for a game to not even have a release date, but it's like fully playable on some sort of streaming platform, and it's accidentally leaked. I wonder how far along this game actually is. But when did we see this first at Ubisoft's press conference last year?
We saw a little like 2 second, not like, it was like maybe 15 seconds of green hills and stuff and a logo. Like basically nothing.
Nothing, exactly. Yeah. So it must be relatively far on then if they're actually able to not only have this in playable state, but put it on streaming platforms. But I wonder why it was even there to begin with.
I remember that Ubisoft were doing tests with Google back in the day for Assassin's Creed.
That's right.
So maybe there's something where they're in kind of like some beta testing, whatever. Maybe that. I suspect they're developing Gods and Monsters to be playable on Stadia at launch.
Actually, it makes sense. It makes sense from a developer point of view if your developers don't need to be next to a dev kit or whatever, or they don't need to have a special build. They can be anywhere at home or whatever, and they have like codes that they can just log into Stadia and play the updated build.
You'd think that, however, that's not how Stadia works. It would make a lot of sense if that were the case, but Stadia, no. It needs to be pushed to cert just like a console. I've spoken to developers about this, and they said it's one of the problems with Stadia, actually.
Because that would be a really good way.
It would be fantastic if you could drop like really quick hot fixes into Stadia because it's all cloud-based, but it's not. It literally is the same sort of like certification process for their games as well, which is really dumb. But anyway, look, it was playable on there. I'm not going to scroll down because it has gameplay on it, and I don't want the gameplay to strike the thing. But you can look up gameplay of Gods and Monsters now. It looks very kind of Breath of the Wild-esque. So, yeah, that good job, Stadia. The one thing that you did right was accidentally revealing a game that's not even anywhere close to finished.
Yeah.
So we love you, Stadia.
How much gameplay is there?
Oh, like a few minutes, that's all.
Okay,
So, yeah. Look, unfortunately, there is bad news for GameStop. What happened?
Oh, I hit my own eye when I scratched my nose.
Nice, bro. Nice.
Silly. So GameStop, we know this is all going downhill. It's been going downhill for like since digital games came out. It's only a matter of time. Now, it doesn't help when there's also a pandemic and games and your stores close, and then you try and like fight the law and say that you are an essential service.
That was such a dick move.
Such a terrible move.
Such a dick move.
Horrendous for your PR. Anyway, so it looks like their Q1 expect net loss between 162 and 172 $1 million. Now, that is a lot of money. I don't know if that's a gigantic amount of money for GameStop, but it's still a sizable chunk, man.
It's a big chunk of money for one quarter, for sure. Retailer closed 76% of international stores. All US stores temporarily closed in response to COVID. So, first of all, they did some downsizing before this, so it made sense that their revenues were depressed. And then, obviously, you had COVID, which obviously just completely fucked them because physical sales dropped out the ass, and then everyone was buying digitally because they had no choice. It's just the perfect storm for GameStop at that point to just really get boned. And, it's hard to see how they're going to come back from this. Like, they have been on slow decline. It really is just this very long, slow story of like, hey, we're going out of business. The only thing that might save them is the end of the year when you have next-gen consoles.
But that will only save them for a time.
No, I mean, console cycles don't kick off big like you imagine. So what happens with console releases is that at the start there's a big purchase rush, okay? And then stock runs out, and also people are just like, I'm going to wait a bit, okay? Then they have like their bundles, a big game gets released, whatever else. Then you have the following Christmas, and that's when you have discounting and bundles, and that's when it gets quite large. In the second and third years is when console sales really start to thrive. So these guys have a lifeline that could see them through, but it's unlikely, I think.
I have no doubt that the console next gen will pump some serious revenue into this company. What I'm saying is, if you were to ask a company, how stable are you? Oh, we're stable for the next 4 to 5 years.
Yeah.
Oh, well, then that's not actually stability there, and that's what I mean by only for a certain amount of time. I really think by 2030, it would be very surprising to see GameStop still around in its current form. It will have to be like the Civic Video,
which is dead.
Which is dead, right?
Sure.
All the Toys R Us,
which is also dead.
But it's kind of like come back a little
bit.
It? Someone bought it, I think. What I'm saying is, it's either going to just fall off and just die, or it has to dramatically change and have a different offering altogether.
Sure.
We've already seen EB Games, which is owned by GameStop. Wait, Best Buy or GameStop?
No idea.
Either one.
EB Games?
Yeah,
Oh, that's GameStop.
GameStop, yeah. Cool. They've already tried to like diversify by selling physical statues and
those pop vinyl things.
All that business, right?
All that garbage.
I mean, they're already trying to get ready for the future, and if it just becomes like a gaming memorabilia store, maybe there's it's not a huge market for that.
I don't think so.
No.
Frost says, Resident Evil 7 is the game I hate that everyone loves. I just couldn't get into it because of the story in the first-person perspective. It's never felt like Resident Evil to me. I bet you can guess my opinions of Resident Evil 8. I think Resident Evil 8 looked fantastic, by the way.
Really cool.
I was so
and
pumped
7 was so... I only finished half
7,
of it, but I really, really thoroughly enjoyed it.
Necropig is a new member. Thank you, Necropig. We appreciate you. I think a lot of you will come back and agree, Bill G, with your review far more than other ones out there once they've all played The Last of Us 2. We will see. We will see. I'm sure a lot of people will love it and they'll think it's incredible. I'm sure a lot of people will not. I definitely think this is going to be a lot more divisive with fans than it is with critics.
I think a lot of people will just see its flaws and enjoy it.
Antmo says, for $20, very generous. Thank you, friend.
Thank
Bro,
you,
your Last of Us review was whole mood. Keep up the honesty. Appreciate that, friend. Thank you very much. I'm assuming you're talking about the skill up one, not the Laymen one.
Of course, the Laymen one.
The trashy,
have we got that money yet?
The trashy, demonetized Laymen.
Has Neil Druckmann sent that the check?
Shut up, bro.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
You're just ruining the hustle we've got going here, right? Dustin Buchanan says, on Steam right now, Jedi Fallen Order is on sale, but they're also selling the deluxe edition package for $15 more, but it has no extras, just the base game. That's perfectly EA, isn't it? And what else we got? They should sell Anthem on Steam, says Vita. I totally agree with that, my friend. Forzathon says that AT&T is reportedly selling Warner Brothers game division for $4 billion, and EA, Activision, and Take-Two are interested. I did see that headline, actually. Yes.
If I think about it, apart from Arkham and whatever, like, what other games?
They had Shadow of Mordor.
Yes.
Arkham.
Yes.
I
I don't think it's a giant studio, right? It's got a few games that pump it along.
I can't remember now.
Yeah, I know there's more. I know there's more.
Sure.
But it makes... Well, I don't know if it makes sense, but anyway.
Yep. To Alexander says, to think the first image I tweeted in years that wasn't hentai got me featured on my favorite channel. First time donating love. Oh, okay. So one of the pictures we put up there was I'm assuming it was a PlayStation meme. So
I'm guessing, yeah.
Thank you very much, Alexander.
Thanks, buddy.
Stefan, Mass Effect 2 DLC still not on Steam. Oversight. Yeah. That sucks.
We should get Anthem. What?
Yeah, no, we missed that one. I didn't know. I didn't check the DLC actually, so that's a shame if it's not on there. Blacklisted Gaming Podcast says, theory, file sizes for COD are large on purpose. Activision wants you to delete other games so you can only play their games. Steady player base keeps shareholders invested, money flowing. This is the new monetization plan. Filling up your hard drive is the way to keep people from other games. I like that. That's clever. I've actually heard that before.
I've read those headlines like. It must be just like they're rewriting 81 gigs, right? They're not like adding
they did
81.
actually do some condensing this time around, so the file size is actually smaller thanks to that. But it's still ludicrous. I think it's still like 150 gigs or something stupid. I don't even know.
I mean, how is that when you can download another game? Like Red Dead was like 80, and that was a giant game.
I just don't get it. So
anyway,
Toros says, "Don't listen to them. Last of Us is pretentious trash. You guys are the best." Jedi Master says, "Loved your review, but as a fan of first 2 Disney Star Wars movies, the moment you made the comparison, I died inside. I can't handle another online experience." There you go. Fair enough. Guys, there's some more news here we've got to get to. We've only got 7 minutes left, so we'll canter through it. We've got Far Cry 6 has been rumored to be set outside of the US. And no, I don't want that garbage. Fuck off. And return to an exotic setting. Bless you. And July 12th reveal. July 12th, I think, is around the date that they've got that Ubisoft event. That Ubisoft
I think that is
forward.
the time.
I think it is maybe the time.
Yeah.
So we're going to be live streaming that Ubisoft event. Hopefully we'll see a new Far Cry. Hopefully we will see a Splinter Cell game.
Yeah, it has been. Okay, it has to be. There is no other game that can fill the void of Metal Gear.
I want Sam Fisher to rock up and just be like, take up his goggles and be like, kept you waiting, huh?
yeah.
And everyone like, yes! And then it's like Splinter Cell, directed by Hideo Kojima, and you're like, yes!
I mean, imagine if there was like a Splinter Cell that was like him versing Snake, because like Konami didn't. Because Konami
That's
doesn't
some
give a shit
cheap
about
ass fan fiction right there, man.
Konami doesn't give a shit now about Metal Gear, so they're like, yeah, cool, whatever. Give us some money, you can use the IP.
The other thing that was teased very recently was that Jeff Grubb, excuse me. My name's Jeff. He's an industry insider, and he confirmed that Battlefield 6 is set in the modern day, which is cool, nice, not bad. I really like Battlefield 4. quite enjoyed that. So I'm good to see what they'll be doing going back to it. A lot of people lost faith with Battlefield after the way they just jumped ship on the whole
Big time.
finishing the invasion of Europe and during World War II. They just kind of left that war unfinished.
I mean, that's how it ended, right? Just
that is
halfway
how it
through,
ended.
they all just packed up. And like,
Winston Churchill's like, you know what? Fuck this.
yeah,
You know?
he was like, I'm not vibing the DLC of this.
That's right.
I'm out.
So that was how that worked. There is actually some very good news, and I think we're probably going to hear more about this tomorrow, and that is Persona 4 Golden is coming to Steam probably this week. They've pulled news items down on like leaks and whatever else, but it's just been everywhere within Steam's files. It's almost certain that Persona 4 Golden will come to Steam this week. They're probably going to announce it tomorrow at that PC game show, and then say something like, and it's available to buy right now, and everyone's like, all the anime avatars
such a trend now.
completely like jizz their pants,
Yeah.
and they throw out their Vitas because they don't need them anymore. That's it. That was like the one game they had the Vita for. So anyway, look, Persona 4 Golden, I played maybe the first 20 hours. I liked it. Same as Persona 5. I played the first 20 hours.
No, I haven't played Persona 5.
You haven't?
No, I just
Okay,
listened.
did you play 4?
No,
okay,
I've just listened to a hell of a lot of the soundtrack.
Soundtrack's amazing.
Amazing.
I've got the vinyl as well. Beautiful vinyl in a box and whatever. Looks just as cool as you imagine. And that's it. So all you weebs out there, will just be very busily...
I'm expecting a lot of games. Look, that's such a, as I said, like it's such a trend now with they talk about a game and they're like, and it's out now.
Yeah.
That only started happening like 2 years ago, right?
I don't know, to be honest. If you say so, Sam.
Anyway,
Nintendo, by the way, got hacked. This isn't great. Nintendo now says that accounts of 300,000 Switch users have been hacked.
originally they thought it was only 160,000 or so. It's 300,000, but it's kind of a unique way that you are being hacked. It says here, right, that it's only if you have kind of transferred your old ID from 3DS or the Wii U to the Nintendo to the Nintendo Switch.
Yes.
But see, I wasn't one of those people that did that.
Yes.
Maybe Thick Boy did though, because he played a hell of a lot of Smash on Wii U.
Now all these hackers will know his search history.
Oh man,
That's terrifying.
that's terrible.
I feel bad for those hackers, can I say?
Ganondorf naked. That's what he's looking up. Smash Ganondorf.
So anyway, look, if you have a Nintendo account, change your password, I guess. Question mark. Probably a good idea. There's also one last thing. Actually, we covered those off. Covered that off. We've done that. Last one here. Actually, the last thing is that the RTX cards, it looks like we have our first images of the 3 series cards. Now, these are not confirmed. These could be fake. It's possible that since I have seen these photos that they've been confirmed to be fakes. I don't know. But they look kind of real.
One thing's for sure. As they get more, there's always more fans. Like, there's only one fan on...
No, but they have, like, the heatsink stuff. So, like, that could be a thing.
Maybe.
I don't know exactly.
Look, I think the idea that they've just brought out the 2080s, and now we're seeing actual physical prototypes of the 3080s, it just sounds a bit unbelievable.
No. We do know 3080 is coming pretty soon. Like, they are going to be announcing it pretty soon.
How can they only bring out literally 7 months ago the 2080?
Money.
But like
that's money. That's it.
But we waited. How long did we wait between the 1080 and the 2080? A few years, right?
It was a few years.
It's a few years.
But I don't remember exactly when the 2080 was like the RTX series was revealed. But it wasn't that long ago. You're right. I definitely remember watching that presentation. So yes.
Exactly. And I think like from a monetary perspective, you know, there's so much money into manufacturing the 2080s, 2060s, 2070s. I mean, they haven't made their money back yet, right?
They charge so much for those cards.
Exactly.
They would have made their money back.
So barely anyone can really jump on those yet. So they're such a premium product. It hasn't actually hit the mass market like the 2080 has now, you know?
Yeah, I don't know.
So I just don't see this actually being a viable, like... I just don't believe it, man. Not yet.
Yeah, look, we know for a fact it's definitely coming.
Of
Whether
course.
or not these are the real ones, I don't know.
It's like saying PS6 is coming. I mean, yeah.
No. I mean, like, it's coming soon. Like, it's not a thing. Like, they have been hinting it. It's definitely happening soon.
Crazy.
So, you know, that's it. You can expect to spend like another, 3,000 Australian dollars, I think it is, for these cards. It's absolute insanity. So there you go. Guys, a few more super chats. Let's do... What do we got? Grizz is back. I swear I'm all about the ladies, but Sam is still my hall pass. Hey, I'm straight, not dead. There you go.
I'm straight too, man.
Tom Wagner, love the content, guys. How do you compare Google's entry into video games with Microsoft's? I recall lots of negativity towards Microsoft. Still here, though. I don't remember that people being that negative to Microsoft, but I
was young then.
I wasn't paying as close attention to the news cycle back then.
Yeah.
But I don't remember it being terrible.
I remember The Rock was there.
Was he?
He was the one that unveiled it with Gates, I'm pretty sure.
Maybe.
I'm sure it was him.
that.
I've seen... Yeah, anyway. So I don't think anyone... I think Stadia's going to have a lot harder time. Anyway.
Angry Liquid for $10. Due to your review of The Last of Us 2, you are saving me $60 dues. Thank you very much. Keep up the fantastic work. My pleasure, friend. Viddle plays. Don't take the hate word wrong. I was admiring you. Oh, okay, cool. Well, I appreciate that. That's fine.
We love you,
friend. KV became a member, as did Toros. Thank you, my friends. Round of applause. Vita Warner got DC Universe Online through Daybreak Games. That's a real heavy hitter. That's worth $4 billion right there. DC Universe Online. Anything
it's a dead
in the
thing,
DC
right?
universe right now is really hot stuff.
But isn't DC Universe Online just a meme now?
I think it's actually taken offline.
It's gone, right? Yeah.
Okay. Revenge of the Synth. Cool name, by the way. Have you guys ever heard of Grim Dawn? Of course I have. Built on Titanfall engine. Part fantasy, part steampunk. 3 expansions. Very positive. No in-game shop. Yes, I have heard of that. I haven't played it though, but everyone says it's fantastic. So yes,
2018 came out in September 2018.
Really? It seems like it was longer ago. Wow, okay.
Wow, okay.
Naughty Dog Combat is underrated. There I said it, McGrousby. Fair enough, dude. You're not the first to have said it. They're like, you have to play it on higher difficulties for the game to be fun. And I'm like, how about no? That's my take. Anyway, guys, that's, by the way, that was James Walter before with the 2018 comment. So I want to thank everyone for being here today. Really great show. Tomorrow we are live again at literally 4:30 a.m. in the morning because we hate ourselves. Because we're just losers with nothing better to do than be here at 4:30 in the morning yelling at video games. Okay, that's what we're here to do for you guys. So tune in.
We actually live next. Oh, our office is next to like a 24-hour place.
Yeah, it's
that has decent coffee.
Nah, decent's very generous, man. They're very generous. Anyway, we will be live tomorrow. Check us out, the PC Games Show and also the Future Games Show. Expecting some big things there. It should be cool. So look, thank you very much for being here, everyone. We appreciate you. Go and check out the Last of Us 2 review on Shill Up and also the demonetized version on Laymen Gaming. You're sure to enjoy it. And we'll see you next. Do you reckon it was Neil that got the Layman one demonetized?
Of course. Well, did he
He's like, I can't touch the Skill Up one, but I can go after these
the trashy one.
That's right.
All right, guys.
Later, guys.
Layman out.